Hi there, my name is Alex, and the purpose of this video is to run IsaacLab and IsaacSim on Azure GPU-enabled compute. So first of all, this is a first video of a series, and in this case, we're just interested in seeing how to run IsaacLab and IsaacSim inside of Azure VM. So we're looking at IsaacLab. First, we're looking at the IsaacLab containers. It's very interesting, right? So there's an IsaacLab container compatible with IsaacSim. There's a separate IsaacSim container as a part of NVIDIA Container Registry. As you can see, this is the version we're interested in is 4.5.0 with the latest and greatest updates. Then we basically installed the IsaacLab along with IsaacSim, just for the sake of this exercise, inside of a specific Azure VM GPU-enabled compute of a specific SKU, which we'll talk about later. So this is just installation, right? So we're talking about installation inside of the VM to begin with, and then later on we can fully containerize it. So installed following this tutorial, installed IsaacSim. On top of that, installed IsaacLab, and also made an Anaconda environment for this, installed all of the prerequisites, including PyTorch and PyTorch Vision and other things as it's described here, using CUDA version 12. And then, we're able to follow all of this. And then we're interested in running two examples. One more like a RL training on a very simple robot, such as like this thing, the ant. And then also maybe a more sophisticated example with using dexterous shadow hand. So what's interesting is that how do we know what compute SKU to use, what's compatible? Because as we know that IsaacSim requires RTX compatible NVIDIA GPU. So there's a section in IsaacLab saying running IsaacLab in the cloud. And there's a GitHub called Isaac Automator that allows you to deploy this in different clouds. We're interested in Microsoft Azure Cloud. And if you look up this kind of GitHub here, you will see that there's a section dedicated to what instance types are capable of running IsaacSim. And this is the SKUs. Specifically, this is the NV series of GPU-enabled VMs featuring NVIDIA A10 GPU. And specifically, this is the NV V5 series. So this is how we know what compute to provision that will be capable of running IsaacSim on Azure Cloud. Then if you look at the specifications of NV A10 V5 series, you will see that we have right here in accelerators, like I chose here the standard NV 18 core ADS A10 V5, which comes with the half of A10 NVIDIA A10 graphics card. And obviously for more sophisticated examples, you'll probably be interested in using the full A10, which comes with the 36 ADS or ADMS SKUs, and possibly even using 2 GPUs on NV72 ADS SKU if necessary. It's important that when you deploy this VM of specifically like this type that we chose here, you have to enable and you have to add NVIDIA GPU drivers for the GPU to be recognized and detected inside of the VM. And then also, like I had to do the installation of CUDA toolkit. And in this case, this is on the Windows host, but later on, again, fully containerized. We'll be interested in fully containerized setup on Linux. So this is the guidance of how to install the CUDA toolkit. And essentially, like I just went with CUDA toolkit 12.9. for the specificity of my host operating system on the VM. Once all of that was installed, we're capable of doing the following. So this is like we're inside of the VM. So first of all, like if you run, for example, NVIDIA SMI, you will see what's supported on this specific system. And after installation of NVIDIA CUDA toolkit, like now we see what's physically installed. So one kind of gotcha is that when I was installing all of the IsaacLab prerequisites, I actually did not have CUDA toolkit installed first, which resulted in kind of this type of error that PyTorch was not compiled with the CUDA enabled. So basically, what I had to do, I had to force reinstall the CUDA, the PyTorch with CUDA, that command with the PyTorch and PyTorch Vision, and then this resolved the issue after the proper installation of CUDA toolkit. Then also notably, you can also see that there's a convenient checker that you can run. And for example, if I run that checker, you will see that my system on paper is compatible with running IsaacSim in the cloud, in Azure cloud, on that specific NVIDIA A10 GPU. And then like everything looks green here. And this is looking good. So stash this away. Then finally, we have to choose the environment. And in this case, I'm just kind of running here the list of environments just to see what's available here. So this is the command from the tutorial, list environments. And then I'm interested in, probably I will go with the and first, like just as an example of a very simple environment, basically training an RL policy for a robot that has not too many degrees of freedom and so on, while the shadow hand on the opposite side will have 20 plus different degrees of freedom for all of the different joints for the dexterous hand. So this is much more demanding scenario for which you may want to use not half of the GPU, but at least full GPU or more. So once we selected the environment, we can actually launch the RL training. In this case, I'm using RSLRL library, one of the libraries that is supported and provided by IsaacLab as a part of installation. So IsaacLab by default installs all 4 different options for RL training libraries, including this one, including RL Games, SKRL, RSLRL, and others. And in this case, I'm going to launch the ant example. And I'm launching this in normal mode, not headless mode, but in reality, probably you'll be interested in launching this headless and then just organizing monitoring of what's happening with your training. Or if you want to launch it with GUI, you're welcome to. Let's load in the environment. And we see our robots and the start of the RL training. All right. So the training is ongoing now. And as you can see that we're capable of running that RL training in Azure Cloud on NV series GPU-enabled compute, specifically featuring NVIDIA A10 graphics. All right, so this can go on and on until the training is done. And I'm gonna stop this cycle. And then we're gonna go into another example, which is featuring shadow hand. And similarly, we launch this environment. And again, this is where it's more demanding for the GPU compute. So definitely, like what I have here is not enough for a modest, with a modest setup for a comprehensive task like this. But still, like launching this and seeing this coming up is a part of this exercise. So let's just launch this guy. Yeah, this time the environment is much more sophisticated with the shadow hand. So it's taken more time to properly load everything. And here we go. We have our shadow hands being trained in RL, in IsaacSim and IsaacLab in Microsoft Azure Cloud. Thank you.